May 9th, 2024, a day that will forever be remembered in the indie game scene as being jam-packed with fantastic new releases. From the haunted halls of Crow Country to the catty streets of Little Kitty Big City, the deepest dungeons in Cryptmaster to the Allmother's Domain in 1000 Times Resist. And we can't forget my favorite game of all time, Animal Well. But now there's another day to contend for this coveted title of the ultimate day of game releases. December 9th, 2025, the day of the Worms. Two glorious and wiggly games were gifted to us on that fateful day. I played them both, and each one offers some unique insights into the life of these legless critters. First up is Woodworm. It's sort of a reverse Sokoban game because instead of pushing blocks around, you're eating through chunks of wood in order to carve out different shapes. You've been magically transformed into a worm, by whom we don't know. It definitely couldn't have been this bald green alien, but for some reason they really want you to create a whole bunch of sculptures for them, for free, which is fine because it's actually pretty fun. The puzzles start off simple, deceptively simple, and you learn the game's few rules. There's no backing up, instead you have to do a U-turn and plan your route through each block of wood accordingly. You also can't defy gravity, even though Elphaba up here would protest at that statement, and instead you need a wall to climb up if you want to make it over an obstacle. Or you could just chew through it to get to the other side, which will cause whatever's above you to drop down, and this is the basis for most of the game's tougher levels. And man, there really are some head scratchers in here. Sometimes the most basic looking puzzles offer the biggest, most brain-breaking of challenges. Seriously, how are you supposed to solve this one? Although you can't back that worm butt up out of a tight space, you can undo all your moves one by one, Sokoban style, if you make a mistake. And sometimes I even found myself forgetting all about the puzzles and just chilling out in my cozy workshop, which is a new addition to the game, as Woodworm was originally created for the Pico 8, which is a fantasy game console used for making tiny games of all sorts with limited scopes and color palettes, and really it's just a cool community of developers that I highly recommend you go check out if you like weird little games like this. The Pico 8 version of Woodworm has the same wormy bones as its full release, but none of that extra detail in the background and no bald green alien. But still worth a playthrough if you enjoy puzzle games at all, and this version is completely free. So thank you to this squirmy little guy for filling my evening with some very clever brain teasers, and now we're on to another even more squirmy game that's simply called Worm. I love when the title screen is put into the game like this. This is a physics-y platformer about guiding a worm over, under, and through various obstacles, and getting into some trouble along the way. The controls here are wiggle, chew, and freeze in place. I didn't think I was gonna get much use out of that last one, but it turned out to be surprisingly useful in some of these more tricky climbing scenarios. You can kind of use it to stop yourself from falling down into a crevice and inch your way over to the next platform like this. Worm does have a checkpoint system which comes in very handy in case you get stuck and lets you teleport back to the last flag that you activated. Personally, I think this game is pretty darn cute. You may not agree if you aren't so fond of bugs, but just look at this worm's little facial expressions. Look at them bonk their head. It kind of reminds me of an old Flash game for some reason. Maybe it's the simplistic art style, or just the joy I found in the smallest of things, like bouncing real high on this mushroom. Just as you can in Woodworm, you can also just chill out in this game between climbing, stretch out and rest your legs, and you may even find some hidden treasures along the way, or some delicious fruit to munch on to fuel you up for the rest of your journey. I think it's pretty funny that both of these games released on the same day, and as soon as I made the connection, I just knew I had to get this info out there to all you worm enthusiasts. For some reason, I tend to gravitate towards bug games, even though I'm not particularly fond of them in real life, so seeing these two pop up on the same day was a very nice surprise. If you do decide to pick up either of these games, I wish you the happiest and wiggliest of times, and I'll see you all in the next video.